Welcome. This is the intro video for week 3. Before I talk about this week's material, I'd like to discuss the midterm, which is coming up in 10 days. The midterm is open book and covers the videos and textbook for chapters 1, 2, and 3 and labs 1, 2, and 3. The midterm does not include section 3.4 of chapter 3, which we will skip, and also does not include the material that will be introduced in week 4. It is important for you to work on the pre-midterm and the pre-midterm addendum. The goal of the pre-midterm and the addendum are to give you practice solving in the problems you will see in the midterm. The pre-midterm and addendum have problems similar to the problems in the midterm, but will use different numbers in the problems. The pre-midterm and the addendum are graded, but you can take both tests unlimited times until they are due the morning of the midterm. There's no reason why you cannot get 100% on the pre-midterm. Also continue to work with your team to post answers to the questions assigned to your team on the team assignments. Compare with the answers and explanation on the shared drive. The process of posting and showing the method to solving problems is to ensure that you thoroughly understand the concepts and how the calculations are done. Do not hesitate to ask if you don't understand something or have any questions. The questions you ask may be the same as another student's. Post your questions under the student sharing forum so the questions and answers are shared. The TA and your instructors will be monitoring the forum. After some answers from students, any corrections needed or further explanations as needed will be posted by us. Now, just to go over the upcoming schedule. Week 3 is a typical week. Open on Wednesday and close before midnight on Tuesday following. Remember to complete all the work, which includes uploading the Team Assignment 3 to the shared drive. Week 4 opens the next Wednesday. Note that you will be able to take the pre-midterm and addendum up until the midterm. Week 4 will be a lighter week for new material, as we will only cover half a chapter, which is Chapter 8 on security. This is to give you time to study for the exam. Now this week, we're going to cover Chapter 3 on the transport layer. During the last 2 weeks, we looked at the internet as an infrastructure supporting applications. And the next week, we looked at 5 different applications as an example. We mentioned how sending data to another host on the network actually works as applications work across the network. The application layer passes the data down to the next layer, the transport layer. This transport layer extends the delivery system between 2 end systems to a delivery service between processes running on the end systems. This is done by multiplexing and demultiplexing. Multiplexing does the job of gathering the application layer in chunks, encapsulating them, and passing them to the network layer. Demultiplexing is the process of taking the received chunks, or segments, from the network layer, de-encapsulating them, and sending them up to the application layer. To do this, the transport layer header includes the destination port number that identifies the destination application program on the remote machine, and a source port number that identifies the application on the originating machine. There are 2 main transport layer protocols, UDP and TCP. UDP provides a connectionless service. As a simplified way of saying this, the sender just casts the application layer data to the receiver and hopes the receiver gets it. As a result, UDP does not provide reliable data transfer. One of the main challenges for the development of the internet was to figure out how to achieve reliable communications between devices over a noisy and lossy medium with limited resources. Data can be lost or received out of order. In contrast to UDP, TCP was developed as a connection-oriented protocol whereby the sender and receiver communicate with each other to regulate the communication of application data. We will see that information in the TCP header fields provides for orderly data reconstruction and flow control. Now, once the reliability problem for a pair of communicating devices was solved, then the next problem was to figure out how a large number of devices can share the communication medium. Too many devices sending more data than the channels can handle can cause congestion, much like highways during commute time. So, we will study how TCP handles congestion control. Well, that's it for the info for this week. Read Chapter 3, except Section 3.4, and look at the related videos. For this week, complete Chapter 3 quiz and assignment. Complete Lab 4, the Wireshark DNS Lab. In this lab, you are to use the provided Wireshark traces. Look at the footnotes of the Lab 4 instructions to see which trace files to use for which section of the lab. Also remember that the Lab 4 Mininet lab is due this week, as well as your weekly journal entries. And remember to upload the PreMidterm Team Assignment 3 to the shared drive. Just a reminder, we have provided worksheets on iLearn. These worksheets contain problems that are similar to some of the problems in the chapter assignment. You may find that they help you solve the problems in the chapter assignment, as well as the midterm.